Hey y'all, how y'all doing? So it's time for some readings. Hey y'all, how y'all doing today? Hey winner. Hey Keisha. Keisha, where have you been, girl? I'm doing pretty good. Hey Z. That is not what I was trying to do. So I did not come up with a question of the night. Y'all have a question of the night? What are we gonna talk about? I'm trying to think. Question of the night. So have anybody, y'all know we always talk about relationship stuff. So have anybody went through anything that they want to talk about, they want to discuss or anything like that? Have I had any results with the candle? A little bit. Um, More or less like love for me. I'm gonna add you, winner. Hey, winner.
Hello.
Yeah, you can join the stream. Z. Hey, winter. Hey, winter. Hey.
Hey girl, hey. How you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired.
How was your first day?
It's good. It's good. It's good.
But Z, yeah, click the link, girl, so you can join. What's the question of the night, winner?
Mm. Mm. Let's see. Does it need to be
Give us a
PG?
scenario that we
What
can talk
time is
about.
it?
It's 7 o'clock. You said what
Let's
time it is?
see. Yeah, I was trying to see what time it is. Mm, I don't know. Let me think.
I'm trying to think too. So you asked the question last night. Would you talk to someone that's your total opposite? Right.
Yeah, yeah,
So I don't think nobody really talks to anybody that's their total opposite because I was watching, and I'm just going off of that because it's gonna make me think about something else. But I was
yeah,
watching. I used to watch this show called what was it? It was something about the people married at first sight. Yeah, that's the name of it, Married at First Sight. And so the therapist would like literally pick people who have like some of the same core values,
yeah.
and that's how she was like, okay, they'll be a good couple because they have some of the same core values. And so the biggest like issue with them would be like, hey, you know, let me add Z. Hey, big luscious. Um, but the biggest issue with them would be straight up like they were so opposite of each other. Like they was the total opposite of each other that even though they had the same core values, they didn't like each other.
Right. And that's the
I think
thing.
it's
You
the same
see,
core values.
I think that some people, I think it's possible because where does gold diggers come from? She's not really attracted, or he's not really attracted to the person. It's just what they stand to gain from the person.
Yeah, that's true.
So you know what I mean? So that's why I was just curious how other people felt about that because me gold digging just wouldn't be my forte because if I'm not feeling you, then I'm just not feeling you.
So Kiesha question is, would you date someone in jail?
Hell no.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh.
Y'all both said no or
That's just
yes. Like
me.
Kiesha, what do you mean?
So
Like, did you know this person before they went to jail, or this is just like y'all met and this person is already in jail? Because I think it
Yeah,
makes. I
clarify
mean,
that
I
part.
think it makes
Yeah, clarify
a big difference.
that.
I was about to say, can
Look,
y'all hear
I
me?
heard jail and was immediately out.
What you say, Z?
I was about to say, can y'all hear me? Because I got these earbuds in, so y'all won't hear the background noise. And these earbuds
Oh
like
yeah.
to mess up.
Kiesha said, "I'm
But
not a
what I
gold digger, but I don't want to. I know broke dude. Nobody want a broke
No,
what I
digger.
did
nobody wanna
somebody
go
in
do it.
jail is like if I dated them and then they went like if I'm dating them and then they go to jail, it's gotta be over something stupid like a traffic ticket or something. It can't be some like you done murdered somebody because I'm a dip. But if it's something like something small like a ticket or something, that's different. But if it's it depends. It depends on what they went to jail for and how long we've been dating. If we date 6 months and you go to jail, I'm a dip. I can't. You ain't got no ring on this finger, so no.
And I don't
So,
understand what kind of ticket would they be getting that would cause them to go to jail.
oh girl, now don't. That do happen though. Like especially out here in
I mean,
Texas.
because yeah, they might go to jail for like a day, but like
30
when she
days. Them
say
tickets
jail,
are so high here. They gotta pay
what?
off their ticket. So like say if you have like this is how Texas works. So you get a ticket, the ticket $300, right? Then you don't pay the ticket in a certain amount of time, the ticket price go up. So then you know it's
Mm.
Texas, so they don't want to give you one ticket. You getting four tickets, so automatically, like by the time this dude pull you over, you got a $1,200 ticket. I mean, you
Oh
know what I'm
wow.
saying?
Mm.
And so they gonna sit you. I mean, you gonna have to sit out those 30 days. Now they don't do it as much now because they talking about the jails are full, but it is people who will go to jail and they be in jail for 30 days because of the fact that they
But
gotta
that's
pay.
different though. That's not like when she said jail to me, I'm thinking like prison, like jail, jail.
Right.
Like
I'm
brother about to
thinking
be
like
in there for a
murder.
little bit. Yeah, yeah, like brother about to be there for a minute.
Yeah, no, I couldn't date a dude in prison. Like I was
Mm.
watching this TikTok video and this girl had it was a white girl and she had a black dude and she was like his commissary, I got that. His ring.
Right.
I was like, girl, you sound you look crazy. Ain't no way in the world. Say ain't no way in the world I'm gonna post this as a TikTok. And I'm like, girl, you look super crazy.
Yeah, no, that's a no for me.
So Creation says she be watching what she said. Oh, Love After Lockup. Girl, that's like 90 Day
Oh,
Fiance.
girl. Right.
I be
Mm-mm.
watching it like sparingly. You know what I'm saying? I don't watch it all the time, but if I see it, I may watch it. But girl, no, I
Yeah,
couldn't.
never.
My favorite one though on 90 Days Fiance is a African dude named Soldier Boy. And he be getting them girls to come out there and fly out there to Africa. I be like, it ain't no way. He ain't cute. I don't understand what y'all like about him. It's like no way.
Mm,
So
that's deep.
y'all basically said no. Y'all couldn't talk to somebody that was in jail.
No, no,
For
that's a
me,
no for me.
it depends. Just
Yeah,
for me. But same time, like if it's like I said, it just depends on what they go to jail for. Plus, it like if like we've been dating for like 5 years, that's different. But 6 months or three,
yeah.
it's out.
This one girl I seen on because I'm a TikTok fanatic. I seen this one girl on TikTok. Her dude got like life, and she literally like she pays for the commissary and do all this other stuff. Go down there because she felt like he didn't. Well, I mean, in their case, it's a little different because she felt like he didn't do the crime, so he just go. Pretty much he feel like he's innocent. So she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna stand beside him. I ain't stand beside you. You doing life. Like you're gonna have to
Mm.
understand that my life didn't stop because your life stopped. I could be your support system, but
Right.
my life did not stop because yours
Right.
did.
I couldn't stop living. I wouldn't. Maybe I wouldn't walk away from him in that particular situation because maybe he got dealt a bad hand. But I would have to really be like, I would have to really have faith and belief that he is innocent. But life, but man, that's a large commitment to somebody locked up
Okay.
that can give you nothing.
I mean, they was married
I,
before and had kids, so I guess she just felt like I'm gonna ride it out.
Mm. I'd rather I being your
well,
friend, but I sure can't ride it out being your mate. Like both of us gonna get a life sentence.
mm,
Yeah,
I
I
just,
don't know.
mm, I don't know. For life, that's a really large that right there. We're not talking about dang life.
Right.
Honestly, it's
There's no
like
end date.
I feel like I feel like a boyfriend should be understanding at that, or the husband, whatever. I feel like whomever I'm with should be understanding of the fact that like I'm human, I got needs, and my life can't stop. And even if you didn't do the crime, I just feel like they should be more understanding on why we just can't stick around. If you ain't
Yeah.
understanding of that, well, hell, enjoy it.
I was about to say,
Enjoy
it's really not too much you can do. Yeah, Keisha, I
it.
know somebody. My uncle got married. He was in prison, and the woman married him, and he was guilty of the crime, and she stayed married to this man for 30 something years, 20, however long he was in
Girl,
prison. And when he got out, they stayed married for a few years, and afterwards, then she divorced. I'm like, are you freaking crazy?
girl.
Girl, hey Journey, how you doing today? Let me tell you something. My uncle, he a pimp though. You know, I'm gonna call him a pimp. Like like when he was in prison, he like did hard time. So he was meeting all these women that was like sending him money and all this other stuff. So when he got out, like they was still trying to send him money. Like they still made sure he was good. When I'm telling like these ladies made sure he had a house, made sure his cell phone was paid, made sure he had something to drive in. I'm talking about
Girl.
like what?
Hmm.
I just couldn't do
Hmm.
it. I don't
Yep,
understand.
be providing. Like he the king of your castle in prison. He's in prison, but he's your king. What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying.
Girl. He had it made, honey.
He did, and he still got like he been out of prison for a long time, and them females still do the same thing. I mean, still, I just couldn't.
Wow.
Like personally, I just was like, what? Like, I mean, he's not a ugly dude. You know what I'm saying? Like my uncle, not he used to look. He was real handsome. When he was younger. You know. I mean, but it's just like, huh? Y'all tripping. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Mm.
That's
I
crazy
just
though.
feel like, and then, well, if it was okay, like let's switch the roles. Like it was vice versa. If I was in jail, I
Mhm.
personally would have to drop my boyfriend anyway, just because I don't expect you to stay loyal to me, fam. I already know you got needs. You're probably about to go out and cheat and just not even tell me. You might as well go. You might as well. Just that's
Right.
just
Well, I
my
put myself through the torture.
right.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So, okay, so Z, that was you the other day when we had somebody that came in and they was in a relationship or a situationship for 4 years. Um, do you feel like that's something that you could done? Like,
Oh, I wasn't there when she was talking about it. Okay, so
oh, you wasn't? I thought you was.
no, that wasn't me, but I was there when it happened. Like I was there when it was talked about. Um, so I went through a situationship for 2 years, and I just ended it like last year. And I'm putting myself in this personal position because I was the one who kept the guy waiting, right? Um, and we're all good. You know what I'm saying? We put that in the past, but due to I just feel like maybe it's due to the person's past because with my past, I didn't know like what a rebound really was. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really just taught me that. But for me, when I got out of a relationship with my ex, I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'm about to go get any nigga I see. The first boy I see, he mine type shit. That was me. But sorry to say the N word, my bad. But I was just like, that's me. I'm gonna get anybody that I see. And so in my head, I'm leading this person on for 2 years, thinking that it's gonna get somewhere. And I have feelings for this person. However, it just didn't. I didn't have the healing strength inside of me to just be with that person. And now that I know what it feels like to lead somebody on and actually hurt somebody, I would definitely advise anybody, boy, girl, whatever you is, trans, do not stick around with somebody that has if 30 days is the max. If no, hold on, I give it 3 months. 90 days is the max. If that person has not tried to be with you in a relationship at that point, you need to let it go. Because that right there is just leading you on, just hoping something's gonna happen when it never does. The spark that's just never gonna burst, if that makes sense. You just let it go. That's just how I feel.
So you feel
Because I
like
know what
90
it's like.
days is the
90
most.
days is the max for
So what do
others.
you do with the
Me,
connection? What if y'all both have a connection? Y'all both like each other. What do you do from that point on? You just gonna stop talking to him, or you're gonna like, what you gonna put him in like the friendship
I
category, or
would
what?
say, I would say for me, if a guy, so let's say these 3 months to pass. Honestly, for me, I would say a month is the max for me. But let's say we talk it, a month goes by, and he's still in this place of not wanting to be in a relationship. In the beginning, I'm gonna tell you straight up what I want. In the beginning, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm gonna tell you, okay, this is how long I think we should keep talking. And if I like you, I like your vibe. It's what I want. I want a relationship. Tell me what you want. And if they're being straight up honest with what they want and it's something I agree with, then cool, we on the same page. And I feel like if it just leads to nowhere, I feel like I'm going to be the type of person I'm gonna confront and I'm gonna tell you, okay, this is not getting anywhere. This isn't getting anywhere. We've been talking for this long and you still haven't you still don't know if you want to be with me at this point. It's like you doubting. Like, what's up? And if they give me it depends on their response. Even if their response is like, oh, I'm not healed, okay, gotta go. Oh, I'm depressed, gotta go. Oh, I feel like I have other options and you just not we just not there yet, gotta go. I'm sorry. It's just I feel like there's a thin line between having me to wait on you versus me just going out there and like I feel like it's just a thin line that's gotta be confronted, if that makes sense. So yeah,
I
that's
Mm.
just me.
agree. I agree. I feel like me, I tend to move slower. Like I'm really, really weird. Like if I really like you, oh, I want to like, first 90 days, I want to be in a relationship with you. But then if if I learn to like you, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm, because sometimes like the more you start talking to people, the more you start liking the person. And so I may take my time with it. I be really wanting to know your characteristics, to make sure that you're the type of person I want to be in a relationship with. No, I wouldn't go 5 years or anything, like I feel like that's way too long because in my mind, I've already been like seeing other people, dating other people. But I just feel like maybe the max I would go is 6 months. Like, and that's with us dating. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, it's going to be like we're trying to work towards something, you know? And really, if I did 6 months, I'm really dealing with somebody else on the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm kind of probably dealing with multiple people. So I'm not in a rush in my head to like say, hey, I'm trying to be with you. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to give myself some options and then maybe I'll fall in like with you. I don't
Makes
know.
sense.
I just feel like hold on, Z fell off. I just feel like yeah, I'm not gonna wait a long time to be in a relationship. It just but I just feel like it's gonna be on my terms or our terms. It ain't gonna be on the dude's term because like I feel like if a dude like if I like a dude that much and you waiting that long for you to talk to me, oh no, I'm a Leo. Like my mind and went on to the next
Right.
thing, the next shiny thing. Like oh, that's pretty. He's handsome. I'm not. I'm definitely not gonna be focusing on like focusing on you like that because like that's how I work though. Like I fall out of like
Mhm.
really easily. Like I can like you a lot, and then you start doing like some things I don't like, and I'll strictly fall out of like with you.
Mm.
Kiesha said, "Would you say courting is more serious?" I mean, yeah. I mean, don't when you courting somebody, that means like y'all are like exclusively dating, right? That's my interpretation of it. So I would say courting is like me trying to get to know somebody and me trying to decide if I want to be in a relationship. But I don't feel like that should go on for a long period of time either. Like if I know I like you, like I'll be like Z, 90 days, like at the most. But
Right.
if I got multiple people, I promise you, like I'm not gonna just choose you that quickly. I'm gonna like take my time, but I'm gonna go with the person I like the most because if it came in, like if somebody came in and I like them, like I'm gonna choose that person. And the person I've been like, spending all this time with, but we ain't got no commitment. I'm not gonna choose that person. I'm gonna choose the person I actually really like the most. So it depends. That's my little intake on it. I don't know.
For me, it's like life is too short. And if I'm being honest with you, and we're just talking, oh yeah, I'm not limited to one person. And I don't feel sorry for saying that because I'm pretty sure you feel the same way. We got to be on the same page. And for these 90 days to go by and you still don't know whether if you want to be with me, sir, I got men to marry rings to put on. What is wrong with you? I got to do,
Oh,
but
I don't know. So Kiesha, what's the other question of the night? Because everybody's like, no to the jail talk. I
no to the
was like, uh. So I think we all say like getting married. Y'all will want to only date for or only be in a relationship with somebody for 3 years, and then y'all will want somebody to propose to you. Do you feel like that's the standard amount of time that it takes to really get to know somebody, or why do people choose 3 years? I mean, that's what everybody say. Oh, 3 years is a great amount of time to actually get to know somebody before like making that commitment.
well, for me, I say 5 because I I gotta say 5 for me because we gotta figure out how we are on our financial terms, and I gotta see how you are when I'm not around. If you can stay stable by yourself, that type of thing. Like it's just I gotta take 5 years in order to study a person, really know who they are, know their pros and cons, and all the red flags and stuff. So it's just be like I gotta deal with you for 5 years, but the question
Yeah.
pops.
I mean,
Just
I feel
for
like
me.
I feel like I wouldn't be necessarily in a rush. Like I always think about
Yeah.
like my I have an uncle and he didn't marry his wife until like 20 years their kids was grown. He got married to her because because he felt like he didn't need to get married to her. He already knew that that was his soulmate. Like, why do we need a marriage? You know what I'm saying? So he married her after 20 years, and that was only because he wanted, like, if he passed, he wanted that everything to go to her. You know, he didn't want to
Mhm.
be like, okay, there's a question about anything, but he did that more or less for like money wise and legal purposes. But he didn't feel like he needed to get married. He felt like he
Mm.
already, and like he didn't cheat on her or nothing. Like, and they was madly in love, but they both felt like they didn't need to get married to each other. So, I mean, I guess, I mean, I don't know. It's a different strokes for different folks. Journey says, I'll get married when I'm near my 30s or in my 30s. Marriage is a super
That's a,
important, it's super important to me. I feel like you could say that, like, you'll get married when you're in your 30s, but what happens sometimes is that that opportunity, like, say you with somebody now and you're 21 or 22, this person wants to marry you, they're not going to wait until you in your 30s to marry you. They're going to feel like, well, shoot, she's not ready for marriage, let me find somebody who is. Because I know plenty of people where, like, the girl wasn't ready but the dude was ready to get married, so he left that relationship and went somewhere else and got married to somebody really quickly. And they, I know, like, of several different occasions that that had happened. And they don't be waiting on people because you talking about you gotta, you want to be in your
mhm.
30s. Like, they don't do that. Like, if you want to be with this person for the rest of your life, it shouldn't be, the mental part about it shouldn't be like an age thing. It should be like how this person make you
Yeah.
feel. You don't want to lose this person, and you want to have, you want to build and grow with this person. Because waiting to a certain time in your life, like putting a time frame on your life like that, God will play some tricks on you, and that ain't gonna even happen. Like,
Mhm.
it's just one of those things.
I
So,
will I would
what you say?
definitely like. I would definitely say that marriage is. I'm not gonna say is rare, but it definitely doesn't happen too often like it used to. Whenever people were like forced to get married to each other, it just doesn't happen too often anymore because not everybody believes in marriage. But I feel like it all just depends on if you're on the same page. For me personally, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me personally, if we're like 2 years into marriage, you get on your knee, I'm gonna be like, brother, get up. No, get up. But it's just one of those things where it's like we both have to be ready. And I don't want you to break up with me because you feel like I'm taking my poor time. I'm taking my time because you never know what's going to happen in these years. We are not married. And then you'll be so thankful when we aren't married in the day we split. So we have to go through divorce. Because I feel like a lot of people don't want to get married because of divorce and stuff. So, between splitting kids, cars and stuff, that's not fun. The process ain't fun. So,
Yeah, I agree with you. Let me see what Keisha said. She said 5 years is a long time for her. She said, I would want something solid and flow for a good year or a little longer. But you know how many relationships I was in that was that went good for a year, 2 years, and but then I realized, like, hey, I don't want this person no more. Like, I think I do think the 3 year part is good, but I also feel like it's about how this person make you feel. Like, I feel like the girl, what was that, Joan off of Girlfriends? I wanted something enchanted. Like, I want enchanted love, and I want something that I just know that it came from the heavens. Because I know, like, I feel like you would know that. Like, I know I would, but I feel like anybody would know, like, this love came from the heavens. Like, God really sent this person to you. And then Journey says, I like to date wealthy men, so it's very important to me and my potential children. What do y'all feel
mm,
about that?
okay, sis.
And then she says, I don't know. I feel like the men I date will because they are too busy working when they're younger, so they can retire young. But I get what you're saying. I'm team make them wait. Okay. I mean, girl, I know, like, hey, Dee Dee, I know a lot of wealthy men, and they get married really young. They don't necessarily wait. They want to get married, have those kids. By the time they're in their 40s, a lot of these men, like, if you're dating a guy that's like wealthy and single in their 40s or they late 30s, listen, they're definitely like on their second marriage. They not, because they had the money when they're young. They're definitely on their second marriage a lot of times. Let's see. And then Kiesha says, I want to talk about it first. I don't want a guy to get on his knees and get embarrassed. Oh yeah, Kevin said that.
Okay.
And then Kiesha said, I need a wealthy man too, girl. What is wealthy for you guys? Like, what do you guys consider wealthy?
Well, you know a little bit about me. You know that I'm the very independent workaholic type. So wealthy really don't really mean much to me. I really don't care what you got in your pockets. If you ain't got no love to offer, what's in your pockets don't matter to me. Shoot, I can hold that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd be like that too. I do want you to have your money right because
Right.
I don't want to always spend my
That's
money.
true. That's
I don't
true.
want to
That's
always
true
spend
too.
my money. What about you, Winner? What is wealthy for you?
Mm. It, I didn't have any response. I was sitting here just being quiet, and here you go calling. What about you, Winter?
You know I was gonna call you name.
Listen, you know what? For real, it's kind of a mix of what you both said because money is not the priority. It is not the focus. It is not the goal. It is not what attracts me to you. That is on the pro list though. That is a
Mhm.
great benefit. But if you had the money and you had a piss poor attitude, then you still would be no good to me. So
Mhm.
the money isn't the only thing that matters. And for me, comfortably, I would like to live comfortably. I would like to be able to travel and, you know, those things aren't an issue. And I don't mean like we got to put it on the calendar and plan for it for a year, before the whole year before we can go. Like if we want to go this week, we can go this week. If we want to go next month, we can go next month. Like, you know, just the comfortable lifestyle to me where there's no stress about money or oh, I have to call before I can spend anything, or he's like, we need that money for rent this month. Like that shit's crazy.
Yeah, no, I don't want to struggle. I'm over
Yeah,
my struggle days.
yeah, yeah. I don't want to struggle. I don't want to struggle, but I also, yeah. But
So
like I
let's
said, it's all important. There needs to be a balance because you can have the money because I've had those. I've had money when you got a piss poor attitude. That money does you no fucking good. So you need more than just the money. For me, some people can just, and that's why I asked the question last night, because some people can just turn it on and off. Some people, it doesn't matter what you look like, it doesn't matter whether they're attracted to you or not, as long as you can provide them with a particular lifestyle.
Yep, yep, I agree. So let's see, make sure I got everybody's comment. So Journey says, true, and then women want to trap them to get that money. Oh, she was talking about what I was talking about. Journey says, I know me, I don't date a wealthy man that has a child respectfully. And then she says, wealthy in health and healthy boundaries and career and money 2 million net worth at least. Then
Shoot.
Kiesha says, the whole package, girl. I get tired of digging in my pockets. Kiesha, I don't want you to dig in your pockets no more. It got to be like a balance.
Right.
Like, no more, no more. Okay, and then the South got something to say. Said for those wanting wealthy men, what are you bringing to the table? Let's stop there. So, what are we bringing to the table if we want the wealthy man? What are we bringing?
Exactly. More, it's got to be more than just loud mouth and sex and parties and, you know, wealthy top tier men. They want legacy. They want to have children. They didn't make all this money to not leave anything behind. So they're going to want children. They're going to want somebody that can nurture their children, that can nurture home, that when they leave whatever stressed out shit is that out there, when they come home, it's supposed to be the safe, the haven, the the place where that's their peace, that's their solace, that's where they come and get rid of all the bullshit so they can go and handle the next thing. But if they come home and it's just arguing and just, what can I buy? Oh, I brought this, and oh, I did this, and I feel this way, and there's never any attention to them, then you really are no good to them. You're really just a piece of paid for pussy. Like that's it. You're just in-house pussy. You need to be more than that, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, that's true. And then um actually, Journey, I've a lot of wealthy men say that. You say wealthy, a broke man only say that, but a lot of wealthy men say that. Like that's what the whole thing of Kevin Samuels was bringing to the, bringing out was the fact that you gotta be bringing something. You get what I'm saying? Like either it's your like some dudes that have money. If you look good, that's all they want is a bad bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
So
yeah,
that's one thing that you bring into the table, your looks, or um Bobby, you know, a lot of wealthy men do say that. Now there are some that don't say it. You get what I'm saying? But I do think that you should bring something to the table. You should have some type of pride about yourself. It's not about me just like how are you getting this wealthy man? Because the first thing they're gonna do is look at you. It's first visual for them.
all right.
You get what I'm saying? And that's exactly
That's
what
an
Kevin Samuel was saying.
indication.
So
So, well, with me, I considering how like I get nervous whenever it comes to men that have more like wealthy men. We talking rich, filthy. I get nervous when it comes to those type of men, and the reason why I say that is because some wealthy men might get like look sweet in like a good first year. They be like, I'm gonna take care of you, I'm gonna pamper you, this and that and the third. And next thing you know, they putting their hands on you. That's just it's just and wealthy men they could get out of character drugs, and then you never know what they did to get wealthy. They could tell you one thing behind closed doors, they're selling drugs. I mean, and it's just like for me, like, and that's why I say wealthy men make me nervous. And but if I am going to be with a wealthy man, what I'm gonna bring to the table is my own independence. And what I mean by that is you're not going to sit up here be my wealthy husband and tell me I can't work for myself because if it was to break up I need my savings. That's one thing you're not going to tell me, and you're not going to tell me to sign a what they call it, a prenup. You're not going to tell me that either, because then that's going to be automatic no. It's just one of those things where it's like I can have a wealthy man but I'm going to stand my ground regardless, because I'm the type of person I might always have my wallet near me. And you can't tell me that I can't have a wallet because you're paying for everything that I do. That's like turning me kind of into like your housewife. Like you ain't gotta worry about working, you ain't gotta worry about none. Just stay at home, take care of the kids, and I'm gonna bring home all the money and y'all can blow it on whatever y'all want to. Even 50 Cent would tell you, because I remember when him and his baby mama was going through that little situation, he felt very uncomfortable knowing that his baby mama was like living off of his wealth rather than going out there to work for herself. Even though he said he would pay for whatever she wanted to do, he wanted her to have some type of independence. And for me, I feel like if I'm gonna date a wealthy man, I'm gonna still let it be known that I, if I can earn you, I can earn my own too. And it's just like I'm gonna let that be known. And if you want to stop me from doing what I gotta do, I feel like that's a big red flag, and that's an automatic turn off. Like you trying to stop me from working just because you got money? I don't even care if you have a $5 billion network. I'm gonna go get mine regardless. That's me. So
I mean, yeah, the thing is that I know like I used to do underwriting, and one of the things I used to always see like I did underwriting for houses, and then I did loss mitigation, which which is still underwriting, but it's like after like their house their house is about to go into foreclosure, or there's some type of situation where they can't afford the house right now. And let me tell you something, the you think that the money is there, or they got $2 million in the bank and you think that money is always going to be there. It's not. One of the things I learned at that job is anybody can fall. The people who actually survive that that downfall are the people who have two incomes, or this people, or they have the incomes kind of match each other. Because if one person fall, they like you got more debt. He got, say if he has, I'm $2 million is really not a lot of money. So say if he has $100 million, and the $100 million is gone. What? How? If you only making $50,000, how are you going to cover those bills? So now the dude looking at you like, why did I choose her again? That relationship is not going to go far, because he's like, how you bring anything to the table again? You get what I'm saying? So I think that
Mhm.
it should be a balance, and I think that you know people don't really like take a look at the fact that people who have a bigger pocketbook, you know, they take bigger risks. Don't get me wrong, but they can fall way harder. And so if a person, it's not a broke person mindset, it's like it's a smart person mindset to make sure they have a mate that matches them. Like, something happened to me, then I know my dude got it. You know what I'm saying? Or something happened to the dude, he know his girl got it. So it's kind of like that kind of mindset. I feel like when I did that line of work, I realized that anybody can freaking fall. Like
Mhm.
anybody. And the people who have more money falls the hardest, unfortunately. Because $100,000, you got $100,000 in the bank, you can get that back quickly. That ain't nothing. But I mean, it's a lot, but it ain't nothing. But 2 million, or I'm not even gonna say 2 million, but 100 million, and you lose 100 million, man, that house and everything else gone. So, and what does Journey say? Okay, so the South got something to say. Says she gets it. He was talking about you, Z. Um, and then Journey says, a good man should always give you freedom. He becomes happy by seeing your happiness. And then she said, "What type of rich man y'all meeting? What kind of rich man are you meeting, Journey?" Like she said, because not all rich or broke men are bad. We're not talking about rich men being bad.
I don't know.
At
It's just like different men. Men are different. It comes in variety packs, colors. We talking colors, personality. Men come in a variety pack just like women. I'm not saying that they're bad or anything, but you just have your pros and cons when it comes to those who definitely make more than you. So it just there's its pros and cons.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm just seeing what Journey writing. Sorry. Then she said, then the men I deal with usually have multiple streams of income. Okay. That's how I'm trying
Okay.
to be too. I want four solid ones. And then
Where you
she said,
find it?
yes, multiple incomes are good. Yeah, multiple incomes are good. And so, but I feel like, you know, usually you have one main income that comes in, and that's your bread maker. You know what I'm saying? Those other incomes, they cool, but they're not gonna give you the lifestyle as that main one. Like that's just facts. And so you can have different passive incomes, but if they're not all making the same amount of money and that one was taken away, what are you gonna do? How you gonna live? Oh, and anybody who want a reading, y'all, just put it in the comments. Cause we talking, but anybody who wants a reading, let me know. But yeah, I don't feel like either men. I don't feel like men are bad. Like I feel like, or rich. There's rich men or bad men, or broke dudes are bad. No, I really don't. But I feel like what's gonna last the longest is like your respect for that dude. That your mindset. Like if you have no respect for the money that he's making, and you just spend, a dude not gonna want a girl that just spend all her money. I mean, all his money and just at the house. Like most dudes don't. I mean, it gets old. Like you said, the 50 Cent thing, like it gets old. He's gonna find somebody that most of how I realize a lot of dudes find chicks, a lot of wealthy dudes find chicks and like help build them up. Now I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? You gonna help me get to where you are, or get build my income up more. I'm all I'm all for that. But I don't know. Jerry, you don't have no question. Okay. But I mean, I'm enjoying this talk though, because I just feel like we can all grow from something. I mean, grow from this, or like explore our minds of what we really want. Like, I mean, $2 million is good if you just have $2 million in the bank. That's cool, But I want a deeper connection, because you can meet somebody that's not your soulmate, and then it just don't go. Like, what if your soulmate is not broke, but what if he's average? How you feel about that? Like, my dude average. If my soulmate is average, I'm gonna just go with that. I mean, I'm gonna tell you how to make some money. If I make more money than you, definitely gonna tell you like how to like build yourself up. So Kiesha says, for what you feel a man should build a woman or save a woman. I don't know. I don't feel like people should be Captain Save a Hose. I mean, but it's okay if you decide to do that. What do y'all feel? Do y'all feel like a man should save a woman? Now, and here's the thing: we talking all this crap. I feel like a man should be a man, but I'm not taking that away from a man, But I don't know. Do you? What you feel, Z? Do you feel like a man should save a woman or build a woman?
Well, because the reason why I say like this, because I know men like to like I know some men like to flip the script all the time, but I'm not saving no man. Therefore, I don't expect you to save me. If I'm being honest, I feel like we should build each other up rather than you call yourself trying to save me. Oh yeah, I'm trying to like. And don't get me wrong, it's nothing wrong with saving somebody. There's nothing wrong with that. However, if I'm going to save you, I need to know that you're worth it. Just like if a man was to try to save me, he got to know that I'm worth it, and there's requirements to come with that. Like, are you gonna stick beside me when I go through this? You gonna be down for me if anything was to go wrong, type stuff. You got to make sure that they fill in the requirement boxes, because if you don't, then you just might be SOL and shit out of luck if you just so happen to find out that the person that you was building up just so happen to bash you and tear you down. You see what I'm saying? And so I feel like if you with somebody from like from rock bottom on up, and y'all both build each other, and we both got to put in the work. We both got to go 50-50. And if a guy is willing to save a girl, she's got to be willing to get saved. That's also why I bring up the 50-50. She got to be willing to get saved, not the, ooh, my man said he gonna save me, well, I'm just going ahead and let him save me, I'm gonna sit back, relax, and chill. No, sis, you got to make sure, like, if he's helping you trying to get a business going, you got to make sure you can do everything that you can to make sure that business stay running. You know what I'm saying? It's got to go 50-50. It's got to stay balanced. Y'all both got to put in the work. If he's saving you, you got to want to get saved. If he's helping you, you got to want to get help. He can't just do everything on his own, because that'll make him look at you and question like, well, do she really want it or not? Like, she said she want this business, but she's sitting back on the couch watching TV like it ain't, like, I'm over here, ain't spending my savings on you. You see what I'm saying? So it's got to go 50-50. Y'all both got to want to, if you going to get saved, you gotta want to get saved, if that makes sense. So
No, yeah, I agree. So, what about you, Kiesha? You feel like a man should save a woman or build a woman? I mean, that's a Kiesha. I mean, winner. If you on here, good, because you seem
Yeah,
like you're not.
yeah. I'm on here. It keep kicking me out. But do I feel like a man should save a woman? I don't
Or
think that
build a
that
woman.
should be. I don't think. I mean, I don't think that that should be the goal, the mentality to look for a woman to save or build. I think like anything, he can be open to the possibility that maybe he comes across a woman j- who's just not where she wants to be, but she's not like Z said, she's not just sitting on the couch watching TV. She just needs a help. She just needs support. So with some support, then she rises and she soars. I don't think that's really saving her. I think that's supporting her. To me, saving somebody is somebody that's like drowning and just needs you to do just needs you to save them. I, I don't know if that's a good look or not to just save a person.
hmm
Yeah, I don't know if
No.
that's a good look. Like it depends on what the situation is, but to just go out and say, "Oh, I'm looking for a woman to save," no. But to come across a woman and say, "Okay, man, I really love her personality. We have so much fun together." Well, she's creating a business and she just needs a little backing, or she doesn't know just how to do something to make her thing pop. Like to me, that's different. That's like support. That's you know being there, but saving,
No, Kiesha says in the mindset of making the guy feel needed. She said, I think guys like to feel needed.
yeah, I
So,
hmm
think guys like to feel needed. I can agree with that,
but
but
do you think that has something to do with save, like a woman
I
needing to
was
be
about to say at the
saved?
same time, yeah, at the same time, I don't see that as needing to be saved. Again, I can need your help because I don't have the business connect. You know, a business connect that can help my get my product, to the masses. That's helping. That could be saving the fact that I don't know how to or who to reach out to get this product to, out to the market. Okay, so you help me with that. That can be, considered saving,
Yeah.
but you know, are you saying saving somebody as in the sense of she has no home, she has no food, or her life's about to be cut off and he comes in, swoops in, pays her bills and saves her like that? Or just here's this woman who's doing the best that she can, she just needs a little support. I think men can appreciate just being there to be support and not a savior.
Now I'm gonna
Saving.
say this because I thought about this when Keisha said that. I was thinking that I remember this lady told me she was like, I feel like dudes be wanting to want a bag lady. Like, and what she meant by that is like the Erica Badu song or whatever. And like, but
Hmm.
she was like having somebody to come in and help her or whatever. Um, I I agree 50-50. I definitely feel like men wants to be providers. I always let a man be a provider. I don't take
Right.
that away from them. So if that means like me not pulling my wallet out or me letting him do certain things, but I think I just learned the dude and learn like the things he likes to do to be a provider. So I'm gonna always let you do those things. So if it is you paying all the bills, or if it is you like fixing my car or making sure my car is good, putting gas in my car, stuff like that. If that's what make you a man, I'm not gonna take that away from you. Like I'm gonna let you be, I'm gonna let you feel good with what you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Because
Now,
I don't like putting gas in my car. Keep
oh, I
gas in my
don't.
car. I hate going to the gas station. Like I hate it.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna let you do that. But I mean in certain things, hold on, I got somebody want to come in. All right. But certain things I feel like, you know, dudes be like, I mean, I feel like, I don't know, certain things I wouldn't let them do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a very independent person. And some things I just feel like, no, I'm not going to let you do that. But if a dude want to do certain things and that's what you want to do, I'm going to let you do that. I don't really go off of a person um money. Like I'm not a money driven person. And because I feel like you can find happiness with somebody who makes, I'm like $100,000, $200,000, whatever. I feel like you can find happiness with that. I mean, that's a lot of money for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm just on there. I know like my one of my good friends, his he does the same thing I do, and when I tell you like these chicks be like he's in the 100,000. So, but when I tell you like these chicks be flocking to him, like they think he got all the money in the world, and he makes them feel like that. Like he's one of those people that likes to splurge his money. He a Leo too. He likes to splurge his money and like do his thing. And these girls would think he was a millionaire because he don't appear broke and he like to live life. And his $150,000 a year is good enough for him, and them. So I really
Yeah.
think it depends. What do you
Yeah,
think
$100,000 can be a comfortable living for some people.
for a lot
Like
of people?
that's not a shabby living. $100,000, that's not a shabby living.
It really ain't. It really ain't. It's really above average.
Right. Right.
Lovely K. So you could definitely ask, but it's by donations only. If you're trying to ask a tarot question, but if you want to come on the panel and talk, come on. But Jared B, what do you think about the situation? What do you think about girls wanting wealthy men?
What do I think about girls wanting wealthy men?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that that's an interesting mindset. I think it's okay to want that. But I also think that anytime you enter into a situation with an expectation, you should also expect for that person to have an expectation as well. So
Exactly.
yeah, that could equate to being controlling. That could equate to being. You got to really have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just going after somebody money and you don't really know what they about, you might be leading to a path of destruction.
What do you mean by that?
It could be anything. It could be a violent relationship. It could be dude might want you to just like I don't know. It could be a violent relationship. He might be abusive. He might want you to have, some people might be into this, but he might want you to have multiple sex partners. He might be really on some freaky deaky type stuff. He might want you to do threesomes or foursomes or whatever on a
He
regular
might
basis.
want you to suck that dick every night.
Yeah, it's a like
He might want you to fall asleep with that dick in your mouth every night because he feel like, hey, he pays for your living and he pays for this and you came to him for his money. So hey, his one of his requirements for living in his house is to have that dick in your mouth while you go to sleep. Like that might be a requirement. You can't say, oh, that's not right, that's wrong. You're wrong for wanting that. You're wrong for wanting me for my money. It's the same thing. Even swap no swindle. You want something, I want something.
yeah, it's like bro, you gotta really know what you're getting yourself into. It's like how people be talking about I won't sell my soul and shit like that. It's the same thing. Um,
Yeah,
sorry, I don't know if we could cuss on here or not. But yeah, it's the same concept. What are you willing to invest in, like spiritually or emotionally or whatever? Because you
exactly.
basically making an investment for somebody else to invest in you.
It,
So I mean, that's up to you. I think it's fine. I don't think nobody wants to be,
nothing's wrong, right?
but you can't just if that's what your objective is, then shit, you get what you give.
No,
Agreed.
I agree. I mean, I definitely don't
Agreed.
feel like it's wrong. I mean,
No.
I definitely don't feel like it's wrong.
I just feel like we have to understand. My thing is we have to understand if we have a requirement for your paycheck to look like this, they might have a requirement for your hair to look like this, or for you to speak like this, or for you to dress like this, or when we're out, I want you to behave like this. That may be their requirement, and we can't be saying, "Oh, they're wrong," or "they're this type of person," or they not a real man," or "they're this," or "they're that," because they make this requirement for what they want, and we have requirements for what we want. Like how is a man wrong for saying, okay, well, I don't want a big woman, or I don't want no little skinny woman around here in no size 4. I want me a woman in a size 13. How are they wrong for wanting requirements, and we're not wrong for wanting requirements? That's not that's
It's
not
not.
cool.
It ain't cool. Not realistic, bro. Like
Right. It's not realistic at all
Jared,
in my mind.
Keisha says, she said, I hear an accent. Are you from Louisiana, down south?
I'm definitely from yeah, I'm from that region. Yeah.
Okay. Um, okay, so I'm trying to think, y'all. So y'all basically saying that wealth shouldn't be a part of it. Oh, the lady.
Oh, the lady.
Oh, who?
There's a bunch of
Winner
ladies.
or Z?
I'm right here.
No, she said somebody sound like they from Louisiana. Winner's from what did you say, Florida, right?
Yes, I am from Jacksonville.
Jack
Listen, I,
and Kill.
I'm not saying that anything is wrong with wanting money. I'm not saying that anything is wrong with saying, okay, well, I'm not dating a guy that is worth that's not worth at least $3 million. If you're not worth at least $3 million, then I don't want to date you. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. All I'm saying is we have to understand that when we make a requirement is also made on us. And it's okay. A guy is not wrong. Why are we always saying that the man is wrong for wanting a skinny woman? A man is wrong for wanting a big woman. A man is wrong for wanting a quiet woman, or a woman that's more lady like, or more presentable, or a lady that's, you know, that stays home and doesn't go out. They have requirements just like we had the requirement for him to make $3 million. We don't want a fat guy. We don't want a guy that doesn't have that's bald. We don't want a guy that's wearing wigs. We don't want a guy that has children. We don't want a guy that has 5 baby mamas. We don't want a guy that doesn't have good credit. Like we have all of these requirements, and all of the time we're saying that the guy is wrong for having requirements. And I just think that's asinine.
I think if I may, I don't think people really be factoring in what it takes to make $1 million, $100,000, shit, $80,000.
Mhm.
Like I don't think. So it's like I'm gonna bust my ass to make whatever amount of money I make, and then I'm just gonna hand it off to you because you pretty. I mean, yeah, I'll take care of you just as like how I was raised and whatnot, but I'm not gonna like I would be a fool to invest everything I own into you without me expecting anything in return. And I think anybody that doesn't understand that, then you gotta just gotta keep living and get some more life experience and shit like that under your belt because you're not. I don't think I don't think if I'm a millionaire and I have a millionaire mindset and you talking about I need to do XYZ for you just because you cute or whatever, then we don't have too much to talk about.
Right.
I feel like, well, I would like to add on to that. So, um, I would say, um, for me, I would say know what you're signing up for. If you want a man that got over $3 million in his bank account, you have to know what you're signing up for. And for a dude that's like, okay, if we're for a wealthy dude trying to go for a girl that doesn't make half as much as he make, I feel like he should know what he's signing up for too. Everybody should know, like, because there's pros and cons, benefits and downfalls that come with each side. So if a dude is trying to date a girl that doesn't make half the money that he makes, you have to understand she doesn't know what it's like. She probably don't know what it's like to be rich, and she's gonna she's gonna go overload with spending a lot of money. She's gonna go because she doesn't, she ain't never been on this side like you have before. She's
Right.
gonna and she's gonna post, she's gonna flex on Instagram to her friends, she's gonna talk about, she's gonna brag about you. You're gonna be talked about. You're gonna you also have to worry about her disrupting your balance and your bank. You have to worry about that because you also have to think the girl that she could be dating, she could be a hacker. I ain't gonna lie, she could know how to hack your bank account and steal money and you wouldn't even know. She could be taking money from up under your nose and you don't even know it. It's like you gotta know what you're signing up for. And then on the other side with the girl who's dating a wealthy man, like I said, the requirements. He could want you to do certain things that you're not comfortable with or that's out of your league, and you're just like, dang, I know I said I wanted a man that got over $3 million in his bank account, but I didn't know he was gonna be like this. And it's like know what you're signing up for. And if you agree to everything, and I feel like there should be a conversation with this too. If you agree to everything that you basically just said that you wanted, if this man said, "Okay, I may have $3 million in my bank account, but I need you to do this and that and the third. I need you to be okay that I got multiple girls and you're not the only one." If you if you agree with full consent, full permission, saying, "I 100% agree with what you're saying," and I still want to be with you, you have no right to say that this man was in the wrong for doing the stuff that he just basically told you he was going to do. And then vice versa. So it's just one of those things where it's like, know what you're signing up for. Therefore, you can't say that nobody is in the wrong because you gave permission for this to be allowed, if that makes sense. You allowed it.
All
I
right.
So
totally
that's
agree
just
with
me.
that. And hey, Amanda. One of the things I will say is that how are you approaching these guys? Are you just saying, "Hey, what you got in your pockets?" Because there's a whole bunch of dudes flexing out here like they got money, like they got, because dudes be spending. Well, I'm gonna just not say dudes. People be spending their money on like all this designer just to look like they got money, but don't really have money. You know what I'm saying? And like, how are you figuring this out? If they got money or not? What if they flex? I mean, what is
um
their approach? That's what I'm trying to say. What you gonna say? You got $2 million in your bank account? Three?
well, if we're like, let's say like we're on a date and like the dude and I are talking, of course, I'm gonna sit up here and ask you straight up. You're not the type of boy to sit on your mama couch and just eat chips all day, play the game, and don't have no type of motivation for your life, are you? I'ma ask that because not like in those exact words, but I'ma definitely ask you. You're not the type of person that just lounge around and be lazy. Like you have a job, you're independent, you can hold your own, right? I'ma ask that. But as far as if it's like a wealthy man, and I have to put myself in the predicament. But if it's like a wealthy man, I don't know. I would say you really don't know until you ask. And if they're the type of person to give you the straight up answer, sometimes you don't even know if they give you the straight up answer. Sometimes they could be lying. It just depends. You have to know if they can hold their own, if that makes sense. You have to know. You have to ask questions like that. And some dudes will actually get offensive when you ask questions like that because they be like, "Why are you so worried about what's in my bank account? Like, what you want?" Like, some dudes will actually get offensive about that, and that's just immature if you do. But um, I definitely have to say that should be that conversation should definitely be talked about in the beginning because you have the right to know just like he has the right to know from you. Like it should be arranged in the beginning.
Well,
I,
I kind of disagree with that because in the beginning, it's none of your business what's in my bank account. And
Well, that's true.
once we get to know each other and we discuss, if you're dating me on the principle of dating me to get to know me, first off, you're getting to know me, so you know what I do for a living.
right,
It's plenty of internet out here
right,
if that's the type of person you are. But if you come off to me in the beginning asking me about my bank account, that date is over at that moment. We're done because that's none of your business. Like you're completely out of line. I don't need to know what's in your bank account. That's like me asking you, what are you worth? What do you have to offer me? What's in your bank account? How much do you get paid an hour? What do you make? What what's your numbers? Like that's completely out of that's in my mind, that's completely out of order. And if anybody asks me that, it would be done at that moment. And as far as what you said about the guy, the rich guy with the girl who has to he has to understand she doesn't know, she's never been rich before, so she doesn't know how to carry herself in certain predicaments. That's why they're dating. First of all, a rich man, he's not going to go and get a woman who doesn't know how to carry herself in a party, in an event, around people. He's not going to get that woman who's loud and obnoxious. He's not going to get that woman. A high valued man, he's not even going to look at that type of woman, period, because he's not going to be embarrassed. That's the one thing he's not going to do. He's not going to be embarrassed. So that's a no go automatically. Now, if you just so happen to embarrass him, you'll never get the opportunity to embarrass him again. It'll be done. He'll shut that down because he'll never go for that. Not a high valued man.
No, I
Not these
agree.
men not these men y'all talking about. They'll never go for that.
man.
Even even a man making $100,000, $50,000. If you embarrass a real man, it doesn't matter what his paycheck is. A man is not going to allow a woman to embarrass him, and it's going to be okay. Nah.
Just from a dude perspective, like, yeah, I agree. Like, shit, you can find out what anybody do if you crafty with your questions. Like, oh, okay, you work. What's you ain't gotta tell me where you work at. What's your title or what you do? It's conversational. Like, what you do?
I do did me like that one time.
I mean, the
Yeah,
internet is free, straight up.
that's conversation.
Yeah, that's
Cause
conversation.
okay, this he was a nurse. He was a registered nurse, and like we was going on a date, and he was like a few years older than me, and he was like his mind was I'm ready for a family, right? And so I got his mindset, and so he asked me what did I do for a living, and I told him, and then he was like, okay, well you make good money, like we could do this. Like in his mind, he was already planning out the wedding, how we was gonna live our life. He was a Cancer, but he was already planning all this stuff out. And I was like, dang, you researched like how much money I made? I just thought that was so weird.
And talked about it.
Yeah, and brought it to our date.
Man, we in the information age. You can find out anything about anybody straight up and down.
But my thing is, since we already know that, if that's the type of person you are, then you go ahead and do that. But don't you come sit to the dinner table with me saying, so what's in your bank account? What are you worth?
No, cause
I know what you do for a living, but what are you worth? Are you worth at least $3 million? Like what the fuck? No, we're not doing
some
that. We're not
somebody that's solid, they gonna flip that shit and they gonna be like, well, shit, what's your body count? How many
right.
inches?
What
You
but
know
my
what I'm
thing
saying?
is that's to me that's so childish because I can tell you my body count is three. Prove to me prove that I'm lying.
I agree. I'm being silly, but I'm making a
Yeah,
point. You feel me? Like
yeah,
it's just like,
exactly. Like that's crazy. Prove to me what number I tell you is false. You prove it.
man,
Eh,
shit. And I mean, I don't know what kind of demographic we got on here, but I'll say this: some cultures, you feel me? Like some cultures, shit, they might be worth
a quadrillion dollars and you won't even know it just how they carry themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly. Right.
yeah, like motherfuckers might be looking dusty or dirty or whatever, and they could have it. So all that flexing and flogging and shit like that, like the internet, the Instagram and all that type of shit, it's like we showing the highlight reel. You feel me? Like
Exactly.
we seeing people at their highest moments. They ain't
Regular.
showing you when they grind and shit like that, or when they down
Exactly.
bad, or when they lights get cut off, all that type of shit.
Or when they're just living day to day and everything is fine. There's no problem, but they don't walk around with Gucci and Louis Vuitton on. And if they are wearing it, trust me, the $30,000 everyday watch that they wear to the gym, you know, it's just every day. You'll never know because you really don't understand what it is unless it has a label on.
Hmm.
High
Now,
value people, they like to be casual.
yep, I was just gonna say this one thing. So Young Jock said this, like he was saying he has an $8,000 watch, and he watched it. I mean, wear this watch every day. He said dudes was thinking that he was broke because he got an $8,000 watch on, but he was like, you don't need to know my pockets because I'm not trying to get robbed. I'm not out here wearing all
Right.
the big jewelry and all this other stuff to like flex like I got some money. Like I'm gonna be modest with my money. Like you gonna probably the way I look, you probably think I'm broke, like I don't have it, but I have it saved up. And so I think that that's the mindset. I don't know, y'all. I feel like, there's a lot of people out there who date for money, who don't date for money. I mean, it's a whole community. It's a lot of Instagram pages like that where
Yeah.
they teaches you how to date a millionaire or how to find a millionaire. And it's
Yeah.
fine and dandy if that's what you want. I do feel
Right.
like what the South got something to say said was, what do you bring into the table? I mean, I'm personally, I know my worth, so I know I'm gonna bring a lot of stuff to the table. So,
Everybody's table is going to require something different because
hmm
if e- every man doesn't want the same thing, so his requirement is going to be different. And the thing is, are you going to be able to suit his requirement? Because every man's requirement is not the same. Some men want to stay at home. Some men want to go and get. Some
that's
men want somebody that can do both. Some men just want the woman that goes with him everywhere. So everybody wants something different. So everybody's table their requirement is gonna be different. So the thing is, are you flexible enough to suit the requirement of that table?
that's true. I mean, and that's one thing. Kiesha, you didn't come up with no other questions.
Hmm.
She was coming with these questions tonight. But I think that one question was good though, the money question. So like my next question is, so if money is not a factor in the relationship, what are some things that are important to you in a relationship? Because I feel like you guys was kind of like pointing that out, like I gotta have this, I don't really care about the money, but I want this and this. Like what's important to you in a relationship? Anybody want to talk?
I
Go
haven't
ahead,
talked
Winner.
enough. No, I have talked enough. Somebody else talk.
I feel like for me, I do want somebody who is a go getter. I want somebody who's on top of their game. Um, because like I want a person that's smart with their money. I want somebody who invests their money, who knows how to like have like what Journey said, those multiple streams of income are very important to me because right now, I mean, that's what I'm building in my life right now are different ways to have multiple streams of income, a lot of passive income where I don't have to do a lot to make that money. You know, but I really want somebody to treat me well. Forget the money. It's like because it's like like yeah, you gotta have a certain lifestyle for me. I agree with her on that. I don't want a broke dude. I'm not even manifesting a broke dude. I'm definitely manifesting somebody with some money. But the dollar, a particular dollar amount, I'm not with that. Like because what about me to do who got 1.5 million instead of 2 million? Like one was that now you got you got $1.5 million in your bank account. What do I have in my bank account? Is it the same amount? Maybe it's the same, maybe it's not, But I feel like everything that you ask for guy that to have you should have. But I want somebody who really treats me right. I've dated a lot of guys with money, and so but they didn't always treat me the best. And so it always didn't work. And then it's like you putting yourself in the 2% pal, 2%, and I gotta date find those 2%. And then they gotta treat me good. They gotta have no kids. I gotta like, you know, I gotta, you can't be married. I got all these stipulations, but it's only 2%. Because Kevin Samuels told us that it's 2%. Like most your average person, especially the average black man, makes around $50,000 a year. So I understand. I already understand. Like I'm trying to go for the 2%. Then that means I gotta date outside of my race, which would be fine. If I'm into that. But then it's like I gotta, like all these other criteria I have about how this man gotta make me feel, how this man gotta treat me. Then I'm on this limited thing. Like, okay, well, you know, dang, he don't treat me like that, so I gotta like sacrifice. I feel like I'm not sacrificing for anybody, and it's all about how you make me feel. I want your money to be right, but it's really about how you make me feel as a woman. Are you there to take care of my needs? And I want to be there to take care of your needs. Us like I want that love where we can depend on each other. It's not just a financial thing because finances don't is not always there. One thing I learned about life is that money comes and goes. It comes, it goes. Sometimes you can be on top of your game and sometimes you cannot. So for me it's more deeper. So I gave my little spill.
I
What is
mean,
y'all?
from a dude perspective, I agree with a lot of what you just said. And I'm sorry I'm outside smoking if y'all having a hard time hearing me. But yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said. I just want to know that you like mentally stable. And I'm not being like funny when I say that. I want to know that you've grown to a point where you have emotional intelligence. You know what I'm saying? You have financial literacy, or you trying to achieve these things. You might not even have to be exactly there just yet, but if you like on your path to trying to like figure out like those type of things, I want to meet your family. I want to see how your family environment is, or how your family relationship shit is. Um, I want to know like your ambition, your career path, whatever you got going as far as they go, because finances and looks and all that they kind of come and go. If I'm gonna be with you like long term, I gotta know that like we actually are on some type of same wavelength as far as like trying to build whatever it is that we want to build. We want to be like the richest couple in the world. That's cool. If we want to just have a normal life and just have some kids and just cool out, go on trips or whatever, that's cool. Like we just gotta really have the same agenda. That's my perspective of this.
That's pretty good. Kiesha says that she want to be treated nice as well. Somebody who is somebody, a genuine man, clean cut, grown man status. But you be so into
Um,
the number. Like how they gotta be Kiesha? 35? That's what she be saying.
mm, wait, wait. So I have to step away for a minute. What's the question?
Oh, basically, like what kind of like relationship do you want? Like other than the money, like what do you want to how do you want your relationship to be?
um, uh, 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 definitely equal in all for love. Like you, so we gotta go 50-50. That's obvious. Everything. And I'm not saying it's gotta be like the perfect balance at all time. Like, because not everything is perfect. I'm not saying we gotta like perfect relationship, no arguments. I ain't with none of that. Nope. But it's one of those things where it's like definitely go 50-50 where we're both trying and we try to make a great healthy relationship. So it's gotta be um 50-50 healthy and definitely good with communication because not a lot of definitely good with communications. And I just feel like loyalty obviously got to be there, but for me it's definitely got to be the as far as like love, it's like you got to love me for me just like I love you for you. We got to pursue each other. And it's one of those things where it's like one of those situations where it's where it's true love, basically that type thing. So yeah,
Like, what characteristics do they have to have?
characteristics. Ooh, um, I don't want to give the characteristics like I'm building a boy or something. Like it's one of those things where it's like there's of course I'm all down for the good qualities. I just look more towards the bad because like in the beginning they show you like all these good qualities and how they have like a awesome personality, but I'm looking at your bad qualities to see what I can put up with, what I can stand and what I can't stand. I'm not trying to say like I look for the red flags or the bad qualities at all times, but it's more like I need to know that to know what I'm dealing with. Even though you have good qualities, it's stuff I gotta be cautious for, if that makes sense. I'm more cautious when it comes to stuff like that.
You want to know if it look funny with the lights on?
That's funny. That's a what was that? Dream Girls? No, that wasn't Dream Girls, was it?
That's Sparkle. You did. That's
Oh,
Sparkle,
Sparkle.
oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, I'm definitely agreeing with you. No, I'm. You know what? I think like I do want the characteristics because I feel like I do want to know or what I want from a person because I want to attract exactly what I want. Like I want to know like okay, this person check all my boxes. Now, winter got me thinking like I gotta like say on my my wish list that I got like oh you cute because I don't want a man that checks all the boxes and I'm not attracted to you. Like I need to put that on my wish list. But yeah, I feel like those are major things for me too. Like I feel like I have to know what I want, and I feel like the best thing about this conversation is that we're looking at things and we're opening our eyes up to what we want. When are you the only person who ain't said what you want for a man?
I, because I've said it like 1,000 times. I've said it already. Like, you know, I always talk. I talk too much. I've talked enough. Like, I'm just listening.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
I mean, I don't disagree with the things that you guys have said. I just, you know, like characteristics. She said it's funny that she gave that example. She doesn't want to build a boy because I always give the example that I'm always building my guy. I'm always building him. I'm always building my relationship with my words and how I see it, how I desire it. So I always feel like I'm building it because my words are specific to those desires. So like
well, I don't think it's building the person. I think it's like y'all building together. Like like people be saying like when they just kicking game and kicking shit or whatever with people. Like you know what I'm saying. You meet some random person, y'all got a connection. It could be same sex relationship or whatever. Like let's just say you meet a partner or a person, a friend or a colleague or whatever at work. Y'all are like minded, so y'all are building a relationship. You feel me?
yes,
Like
yes, yes,
Oh,
that's when we've already made the connection. But I mean, as in I haven't made the connection yet and I'm a single woman and I'm creating or manifesting the relationship that I want. I,
got you.
oh well,
I'm
see,
building that type of relationship. I'm building it in my mind. I'm creating it for me. I
Got you.
just that's how I worded it. That's why I just thought it was funny that she said she doesn't want to build a boy. I'm like, damn, I'm always saying that shit. Is that bad? Because I'm always saying I'm
Well,
building.
I
well,
think.
like,
Go ahead though. You good? You got it.
okay, well, so what I meant by that, and y'all are talking about like manifesting. Nothing is wrong with manifesting, just like nothing is wrong with wanting specific characteristics in a person. Like if you want them to be funny, cool. There's nothing wrong with like, I want my guy to have, be talkative because my last dude was antisocial. Like there's nothing wrong with switching up the characteristics is what you want. Nothing wrong with the person, nothing wrong with that. But to me, and it's because cancers are like very, and they take their imaginations on a whole nother level. But me, when I used to cuz me I'm the type of person now I just date for who you are because when I used to take my standards very high on another level, it was one of those things where it's like, "Ooh, I want my man to be this. I want him to have this characteristic. I want him to be strictly this." And then whenever I would meet a guy and there's like y'all talk about manifesting, but when I was used to picture this like perfect guy I wanted in my head, and not really like the perfect guy, but this guy that I wanted in my head, I would be disappointed when I meet a guy that I really like and he doesn't fit up to those characteristic traits. I
Mm,
would be very disappointed, and that's why I say I didn't want to like build this imaginary character in my head in
mhm,
order to snap back to reality and be like, oh wait a minute, this ain't nothing like I expected. I didn't want to.
mhm.
That's what I meant when I said I didn't want to build a boy. Y'all was talking about manifesting. That's different. So yeah.
I think that yeah, like human beings have expectations. You feel me? Like if you
Yeah.
go to a restaurant and you order a steak and you want your shit cooked how you want your shit cooked, and that bitch come out the wrong way, that's going against your expectations. So that's cool. It's just how, and I ain't saying you gotta like sacrifice or compromise your expectations because
That's
I don't
true.
believe in compromising like your
Uh-oh, he dropped off.
Hang on.
I didn't realize I had my theme music. So Z,
Mhm.
listen, I feel like this. You have to kind of like know what you want though. You know what I'm saying? Like what kind of stuff is that? Where you don't like you gonna like sacrifice some things that you really like and you don't really you know what I'm saying? Like just because the dude
I know.
cute.
I about to say there's nothing wrong with having standards because even I have that. I have like standards, expectations. I have all that. It's one of those things where it's like I used to take it on another level to where it was almost too good to be true. It was almost too unrealistic, like a Disney
Right,
character type, too perfect. That's what
right.
I meant. There's nothing wrong with
I
having
get it.
standards or characteristics
Yeah.
because I have that myself. I have that myself. Like I don't like my dudes to not caring about what they not caring about it's just there's nothing wrong with having characteristics or standards, but what I meant was I didn't want this fairy tale type of guy. I had to stop myself from doing that because I used to do that a lot. I used to stick to the mindset where it's like um I want this spirit type. I want this dark skinned buff looking dude with good hair, and I want him to have like I used to like I don't want him to be just perfect. I want him to be talkative to me, no other girl. Like that was me
Mhm.
at one point, and I just that was like too good to be true because nobody's ever gonna be that perfect to what you think in your mind. Plus, you might just get sick of that person after a while. So I had to
Right.
get myself away from that type of imagination. That's what I meant when I said I date you for like who you are. Um, because I needed to get my head away from the imagination. But I do have standards as far as your characteristics. Like I'm not gonna take the disrespect from you. I'm not gonna take the irresponsibility from you. I'm not gonna take that. Like so I do still have standards and characteristics that I require, but I'm not gonna sit up and and some things that guys don't have, I'll compromise with it. Like if he's not too talkative, I'll compromise with that because shoot, I don't like to talk that much either. When I do talk too much, I just want to shut up too. So I'll compromise and I'll negotiate with that. But I just don't want a guy that's too good to be true because I used to be like, I want a guy that's too good to be true. No guy that any other girl could have. No guy that you could like a guy you can rarely find in this world, like 0.9% rarely find. I wanted those type of dudes. I had to get my mindset off that, if that makes sense. So that's what I meant.
No, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. Like I don't know. I feel like I just have to draw in the type of person I want. Like there, I mean, you're not going to meet the perfect guy. No, that's why Steve Harvey be saying that you should write down the good things and then the bad things and see like what works for you. You know what I'm saying? Like if you know the bad characteristics that you just say is an absolute no for you, you should have that on one list and make sure that that list is not longer than what you do want. And then you should have the do's. Keisha says, "Are y'all looking for a person?" Hold on. Cheers. Coming back on.
What up?
Keisha says that she said, "Are y'all looking for a person or letting them come to you? And then she said, are y'all looking online or in the grocery store, etc.? Like, I feel
Mm,
like I'm doing both, Keisha. Like, personally, I'm not online at this moment, but I would if I was really, really, really looking. I'll be on. I'll go online and try it out. I mean, but I mean, I'm open to love, and I think that once you open up your heart towards love, love will find you. You know, and I think that's the biggest thing. Like when you go looking for something, or when you open your heart up to something, I feel like that's when you draw energy in. I mean, that's just my personal experience. So I feel like yeah, so you are at the point in your life where you're opening up your heart towards love. So therefore, love is going to find you. You don't really have to look hard because love is going to find you because you decided to open up your heart and you're willing to have love in your life. I don't know, but that's
mm.
my opinion. What about y'all? Are y'all looking for a person, or letting them come to you?
Either or, it don't really matter. That's not my. I mean, yeah, it's either or. So
For me, I am so I'm still I'm like young, and when you're like in those young stages, you're just like, oh, I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna shoot. I'm looking for me a fun stacked up man, and I, just some stuff like that. Um, Honestly, I kind of need to. I That's one of the things I do need to fix on myself though. Is I'm so used to chasing that I never really got chased before. If I'm being real, I don't know how that feels to get chased. I do know what it's like for a man to look at you and for you to look at them and just see who gonna put the first move. If you don't do it, shoot, I'm gonna be bold enough to do it. So I'm trying to draw myself away from that type of attention though, because sometimes it's good whenever a dude does not approach you. And for you to approach them, it's like sometimes like God would be like, that wasn't a part of your purpose. There was a reason why I didn't have him approach you. Yeah, he might have been looking your way. Yeah, the market gets tight sometimes. You got to look for the best man you could find before the stock runs out. But at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like it's dangerous. There's a risk and everything. But I'm trying to take my energy away from like chasing dudes. I'm not to that point, obviously, because I'm obviously not there yet. Because I just seen me a fine dude the other day. But it's one of those things where it's like I am trying to let love find me, and sometimes we can all get impatient when it comes to that. We are all witnesses when it comes to like getting impatient of that. I, as of right now, I'm looking, but I can't wait until the one day where love actually finds me. I can't wait. I'll
How
be
old
so
are you?
happy.
I mean,
Girl,
I'm
I
curious.
how old am I? Oh, I'm 19, honey. I'm young.
oh, you, yeah,
Young, young.
yeah.
Shoot.
Man,
I'm in
look, what you was gonna say you into what?
hmm?
What you was gonna say you into what?
Oh, I'm in the stages where I'm still trying to find I'm just a young adult, still trying to find my way, that type thing.
Word.
I
No,
mean, yeah.
I
And then
mean,
see, my niece is 21, and look, she she just be doing the most, and I feel like that's a perfect age for you to go out there and experience life. Like, definitely don't get like pinned down by a relationship or anything. Explore life, like do you have fun? You know what I'm saying? And then if you gonna be with a dude for 2 weeks, because when you're 19, you be with a guy for 2 weeks and then you break up. Go
Right.
ahead. There's nothing wrong with that. But you definitely don't even need to be talking about love.
Just have my opinions on it.
No, you're fine. But
you
I
damn
mean,
yeah. I feel like, man, I gotta dissect that question a little bit more. Sorry, what they mean? Like, am I looking for love, or am I letting it find me? How it's gonna find you if you unaware, or am I tripping?
because you're a dude, a dude. I feel like dudes are always looking for a female. Like, if a dude's a cute girl, I don't care if he in a relationship, he may say, "Hey," you know what I'm saying? I feel like y'all are always like the hunter. I don't know,
I
like
feel like
so.
that's people. If I ask like the majority of my partners and my homeboys and shit like that, man, niggas be getting people be getting dudes be getting hollered at more like when you with an old lady, when you got a girl or some shit. It'd be like that's when your ass seem to be the most attractive, but when you cool and you just minding your business, you don't really be getting like. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, dudes maybe more. I don't know. Maybe they are, yeah, more hunting inclined type shit. Like they might do more active hunting, but sometimes you be just on your own little vibe. You be cooling. You know what I'm saying? You don't always just be on it like that. So I think that it's damn near even across the board.
So let me ask you a question, Jared. So, because you're our only dude on here, my question to you is like, are you initiating relationships or do you wait till a female come and tell you that they want to be in a relationship? Because I think that's one of the things that we like when I do readings, that's one of the questions that comes up the most is that a lot of females are um they want to be in a relationship, so they get frustrated and they like, okay, I want to be in a relationship, and and these dudes are taking their time. Like, what about you? Like, are you initiating relationships? Like, are you telling like, hey, I want to be in a relationship, or are you like letting the girl come to you and tell you that, hey, I'm ready to be in a relationship? Like, how is that working? This is a man point of view about that.
I mean, it's not a one size fits all type answer. To be honest, I'm not trying to be vague when I answer questions. I'm just trying to be honest when I answer questions. It depends on the person. It depends on our vibe, our energy, what we got going. Um, how I've assessed you, and I'm assuming how you assessed me. You know what I'm saying? Like me personally, I like to sit back and just kind of like. I don't even do the whole I'm gonna put you through a test or a scenario type game type shit, but I will just kind of observe you for a little while. And then if I like you like that, then yeah, I might see what's up. But as far as initiating that conversation, uh, it can happen. I don't know if there's like a statistic on like how often I do it and shit like that. I can't really. I don't know how to answer that. But I guess yeah, in theory, I guess yeah, it can happen. I'm not opposed to doing it.
Because for me, most dudes like they approach me like, I be so nonchalant about it, like I feel like I don't rush the timing of things. Like I try not to. So because I be so nonchalant about it, a lot of dudes will like ask me like, or make jokes like, oh, we in a relationship now, like, in that manner, because like I'm not the type of chick that's gonna be like rushing it, because I feel like when the guy is ready, he's ready. Now, am I gonna sit there and wait for forever? No. That was the original question. I don't think he was on here when we first started. Like, am I gonna wait forever with a guy? No. Like, I feel like I may date you for a little while, but maybe a year. I may date you for a year, and that's a long time to be dating. But I'm not gonna do it for 10 years. Like, do you feel like that's acceptable? Because I just feel like there's so many people who wait on a guy and the guy never makes that move. And so, well, actually, let me ask y'all a question. So, if a guy doesn't make the move after like say a year, are you ladies like then asking the guy like, "Hey, what's going on?" or what? Like, because I be wanting to know this because I be feeling like there's so many females that come on here that really just be waiting on the guy and they never make a move because they're waiting on the guy to initiate everything.
I'm sorry, I was on mute when I was trying to answer you a second ago. I think that dudes do think in mostly black and white. So, but it's like because dudes do think in a black and white fashion for the most part, it shit either is or it ain't. You don't really have to like overly think the situation. I think that's what a lot of women do. I think y'all be so caught up in y'all's feelings and emotions and whatever. Like when even when y'all get upset, like niggas don't be really knowing what be going on or what's wrong with you sometimes because you don't express it, and sometimes you over express it. But I think that I don't know, man. I don't. It's not. I don't. I'm sorry, I lost track of the question. I guess, but I don't think it's all a one size fits all scenario to none of these questions. Just to be honest with you, because it really depends. But for the most part, if a dude really like you, you gonna know he like you. He fucking with you like that, and just like initiate the thing. It's like we shouldn't play the waiting game. If you should go after what you want, you can't be in fear of getting like you getting let down or whatever.
I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, this is for everybody, and I ask this question a lot, even those who are around me. And it's just crazy because one side of the I'm gonna tell y'all the answer that gets picked mostly, but Are y'all a simp or are y'all toxic? In other words, are you a hopeless romantic or are you toxic? Simp is just the cover up word for it. But yeah.
And what in those situations will they be waiting on these people or
In a
what?
relationship. In a relationship.
Just at large.
Hmm.
I
Oh,
believe
that's a tough
neither.
question.
Can you
That's
have a
low
third?
key. It's a tough question on the cool though. It's like because I know like in simp I already got a negative connotation to it, so I'm trying not to even like think of it like in that pretense. But I mean, I think I can honestly say sometimes I could be more of a. I'm not a hopeless romantic, so I guess I got to go with the other one.
So you toxic.
Toxic.
I guess so.
Kiesha, are you a hopeless romantic or what? What do y'all think? I feel like okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to go with hopeless romantic because I don't feel like I'm toxic. I feel like I'm very understanding in relationships. I feel like I like say if someone has going on something going on, I'm not the type of girl that's gonna be like, oh well, you didn't call me and you normally call me at 10 o'clock every day. And you didn't call me like I'm like, what happened? You okay? You know what I'm saying? Like that would be my thing. I'm not gonna be like just like overly doing it. I feel like I think my biggest like downfall in relationship is that I'm too understanding and I'm too nonchalant about
Mm.
stuff. Like that's my downfall.
I'm kind of like that too, though. And I was thinking, does that make me toxic though? Because it's like I don't really be tripping. Like for the, it's like I'm not gonna really be tripping on too much. Just
So
me
go
and
with
my
the flow.
personality. Yeah, just like don't over because
Mm.
it be for my personality. I can't speak for all dudes. I know I'm the only dude representative right now, but it's like, man, we ain't gotta. Like I said, she can. I'm black and white. We ain't gotta overly complicate nothing. If we cooling, don't make it a situation. If there's nothing there to make a situation.
So, okay, Jared, how often do you meet females? Okay, because you are our only male. So, how often do you meet females that are rushing into relationships? Like, how often is that? Like, say, like, give us like a ratio.
As often as I brush my teeth. No, I'm playing. It can happen, man. Like it can definitely. Yeah, it happens often. Or
Like, say, like
it's.
50-50.
I think sometimes. I think sometimes, honestly, from both parties, the conversation don't really never be had. Well, at least in some of my endeavors, like you can just be cooling with somebody, and then I guess expectation and ownership and all that type of shit just come into play. But it'd be like we ain't never had this conversation to necessarily say we was doing a relationship all the way, so I didn't know that that was your expectation because that's not even unfair or fucked up or toxic or none of that shit. It's just like, bro, like we gotta have a conversation. Like you gotta let me know what's on your mind. That's why I was saying earlier, like dudes is black and white. So don't make any assumptions until you have to respect me as a person and communicate with me because
Mm.
we might not be on the same page. You straight up.
Mm.
Yeah. So, but you didn't give a ratio
Um, I think it can happen. I don't know a ratio. I guess.
for
Maybe
you. For you,
I'm trying to think. Maybe like. Uh, in my experiences, maybe like 60%,
60%. So,
something like
how
that.
quickly are they trying to jump in these relationships with you for the 60%?
Very quickly. Like again, it wasn't. It was like you made an assumption. That's what I meant by that. You feel know what I'm saying? It's like
Mm.
you made an assumption, man. Like because I'm a nice person, you feel me? And I don't. I generally have a lot of respect for women, like just how I am as a person. So I can be like I don't know, maybe I can be like overly nice or some shit, or maybe like I can mislead you by my actions. But I'm just doing that because I was raised right, and I got sisters and cousins and all that type of shit. And I generally like I don't have my moments where I done did some crazy shit, but I generally try to respect women or just people mostly, but especially if I'm in this conversation, I'm talking about women. So it's like if I'm treating you nicely and we doing whatever we doing,
that still doesn't constitute that we're in a relationship. We have to like discuss this. This has to be communication going on. Like, am I making sense? Is anybody like understanding what I'm saying?
Do you have a
Hmm.
scenario about this, or
Wow,
can you give a scenario?
I feel like I'm on an interview. Gee, let me see, man. A scenario. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, damn near the last situation I was dealing with. It was just like we was really kind of just hanging out, and maybe I was spending more time, but again, we never clearly had like a. I just like I was under the impression we was just cooling, and it was just like we was just hanging out, whatever. Like again, because I'm a nice person, so I could see how maybe my actions maybe were misleading to a degree, but we wasn't clear that you was trying to pursue whatever you thought was going on. We just really ain't talking detail about what was going on.
I
So did a
want to.
person get frustrated about it? And I'm sorry, so
Yeah,
you can ask your question too.
You're fine.
they
For
they start
oh, here you go.
um they started having more expectations, and then they're trying to hold me responsible for what their need, like they're like it was just extra. It was like she was trying to hold me responsible for like I guess almost like husbandly duties, and I'm already like being like nice and doing like shit when I feel like I need to do shit, but you start like having expectations and damn near trying to like fuss at me when I didn't do something you expected me to do almost, and it's like whoa, I didn't know we was in a full-fledged relationship. You get, is that making sense? Or I know I'm like I just
Hmm.
smoked the shit. I'm
Yeah.
just yeah okay.
No, that
So what I
makes
was gonna say, I was gonna add like, so that also comes up a lot often. It's one of those situations where you have it's a common scenario. It's a common scenario nowadays for the female to be like, so I've been in your house about 45 times this week. We done did so much together. What are we? It's always like it's common for those scenarios to come up definitely often. And then the dude will be like, I mean, we could be whatever we want to be, to be real. Like whatever you want to be, we can be it. And then the female's like, well, I want to know like what you want us to be. Do you feel like we're lovers? Do you feel like we're flings? Do you feel like we should be married? What do you feel? And then the dude's just like, I'm chilling. I'm going whatever, like whatever you want to do, we can do. Like we can do. You don't want to talk no more. We don't have to talk no more. You want to be my girlfriend? And shoot, hey. And then the girl will be like, well, that's like you're okay. I want to know how you feel. You're over here telling me about what I should want and stuff. Like these scenarios pop up a lot, and the girls so, like, and it could also be vice versa, just not only but because I'm a female, I could see that I see this happening a lot from our perspective when we ask what are we, and then we get mis misunder like we under like we misunderstand what the dude wants because the dude isn't really coming clear when he's actually just going with the flow of how the things like of how it's like, yeah, we done did this, we done went out, we done probably smashed. Yeah, I see you as yeah, I see you as like a friend, but if you want to take things on another level, we can. And then the female's like, okay, but I don't want it to all be focused on me. Like, what you want to do? I don't want to force you to nothing. It's just, I don't know. I feel like everybody should have that conversation if you're messing around with anybody. I just feel like that conversation needs to come up, but
I
in
think
a way where both sides can understand each other.
yeah, I think that's what kind of gets like I don't know. That should get lost along the way sometimes. Maybe I don't know. Like
Hmm.
y'all should set like a benchmark or something. You know what I'm saying? When y'all first started kicking it, maybe y'all should like revisit that conversation or have that conversation and then
Yeah.
revisit it in 30 days or some shit. I don't know because it's like again, bro. Like sometimes I'm sorry again, ladies. Sometimes like you can really just be hanging out with somebody and you done fucked around and almost became a relationship, but I think it should be discussed. And if it has to be discussed multiple times, that's cool. There's nothing
Hmm.
wrong with that. It just has like everybody. It sounds because what everybody's saying is like it's miscommunication. Basically,
Hmm.
that's all that should be. And it's like it's not a certain one word answer or one way answer for because everybody's situation is different. It's based on the individuals that's engaging in the situation to have
Hmm.
communication and discussion and talk. It's not like dudes want to be in a relationship after 6 years. Ladies want to be in a relationship after 6 months. That shit don't work like that.
And
It's just
Yeah.
like
that's why
it
Keisha
doesn't.
asked this question. She said, "Do you think males and females see sex the same?" And I think no. I think once a
Whew.
female have sex with a dude, especially like if it wasn't like on some like just having sex type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been talking and then they eventually have sex. I think that the female automatically thinks that they're going to be in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that in her mind she feels like they're building a relationship. In a dude's mind, I feel like dudes feel like, nah, we just had sex. We was cool. We was kicking it. Now we just had sex. I mean, sex is not it's not an emotional connection for men. For me, my thoughts are for men, sex doesn't have anything to do with emotional connection. But for females, it does. I don't know. What are y'all thoughts?
I think it can happen either way. I'm sorry, I ain't trying to hold the conversation. But I do think it can happen either way because maybe it's less likely to happen for dudes because like dudes will play you out and be like, boy, you sprung and blah blah blah, you whipped, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, whatever. That's like, that's dude shit, whatever. We play like that. So maybe there's a less likely scenario, but I think it can happen like either way.
I feel like for me, um, well, I just feel like first of all, there's different ways how to say that word. Some like, and and the reason why I say that is because some people be like, and I'm not even gonna go into detail about that because that's. But I will say that because me, before I even, if I was to ever get on that level with someone future wise, it's one of those things where it's like we're gonna conversate about that because I need to know, do we want to have any emotional connection with this? Like, are we gonna go full romantic with this? Are we gonna go aggressive with this? Are we gonna go like it's just the reason why I said we need to like conversate about it because I don't want to slip up and tell you that I love you and you're just like, wait a minute, bro, we not in a relationship. What you doing? Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, for me, I have to conversate with you before we even get into that because I look at that as a thing where it should be out of love. The dude that I'm about to do it with it probably look at it as if it's a toxic thing. Like I'm about to release every demon I got inside of me into you.
Demons.
It's just the way
So
it's the way that like you and people like we can look at it like from different perspectives from both male and female. We can look at it from like different ways. He can look at it as if it's a like if it's as if it's nothing's gonna be in between us. I can look at it as if I'm trying to share my feelings with you. So it's gotta be conversated for me. For me.
Yeah,
Now, if
I
this is a one
agree.
night stand, that's different. One night stand, that's different. But that's just for me. I need to know where we are where you are when it comes to like when you like where your mentality is when it comes down to that. I need to know.
On y'all one night stands, now I've never had one. Your so called one night stand, are y'all giving the person your number so they can hit you up? Like, oh, that was good. Let me take
Honestly,
my number. Like,
honestly, you lucky if you wake up to breakfast on a table the next morning. You lucky. You lucky. Me personally, uh, I can't even tell you the answer to that because I gotta be in that moment. Now, if it's just like one of those things where it's like I was drunk, that's totally different. Like I'm not even going to sit up there and want to look at your face after that. But if it's like, ooh, he's cute, and I like the way we just did that, I want to see where this can go. It's just it depends on the mood and the guy. Depends.
no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because I feel like there's an expectation for girls with that too. I just feel like if a woman shares their body with you, 9 times out of 10, they want some type of connection with you. And I think that if dudes could realize that's how a woman thinks, is that if I'm
Mm-hmm.
having sex with you, especially if it's a long period of time, she wants some type of relationship. And so if that's not what you're wanting, I think that respectfully, the guy got to say, no, that's not what I want. And I know that she,
Mm-hmm.
eventually she's going to want a relationship. Then have some common decency to cut it off. Because 9 times out of
Mm-hmm.
10, a woman wants a relationship if she's had sex with you. There are some women who don't care, you know? There are some women who have sex for money and it doesn't mean anything to them. But for like for the majority of the women, if you're having sex with a woman, she's going to have some type of emotional connection to it. She's going to be a little more clingy towards you. That's just how a woman is. She's going to be a little more nurturing towards you. So I think that when dudes, because this, like being on this live and like doing like so many readings for so many people, a lot of the women, they have sex with these people and they expect a relationship, or they have some type of emotions behind it. And a lot of times these guys, it was just sex for them. There was no emotional connection. It was more or less like, okay, I just had to release, you know what I'm saying? As you said, Z, release some demons. And that was it. Like, and I think that that's the communication that a lot of men miss, is that if a woman's having sex with you and it wasn't on like some, if you're having sex with a woman multiple times, that she's going to have some type of emotional connection with you, and she's not, I mean, she's going to want a relationship. She's going to want to feel important. She's going to want to feel that you care about her, and with your last situation, that's probably, even though the conversation wasn't had, from what you just told me, like, Jared, if what you just told me, like, that woman wanted something that she couldn't communicate, but she just probably thought it was standard. Like, oh, we having sex, you hanging out with me. That's why she was trying to give you these husband
But
dues, and she did
that's not
never
my
have.
responsibility. I I can't be responsible for that, and I wouldn't expect no other person to be responsible for another person. If you are unable to communicate, then for me personally, I'm not even attracted to you. Like if we talking about like long term, like what I would actually want, like how we was talking about earlier. Like if you
Hmm.
can't have a basic conversation and like express your thoughts and opinions and views on shit, then no. Like I can't move. I can't live my life off no assumptions with nobody. I get what you're
No.
saying though, and I can respect your opinion on that.
What you about to
I
say,
just
Z?
I just feel like um and don't get me wrong, when I say conversating with people, you're not going to conversate with almost every person you do it with. And I totally understand that. However, let's just say, you have this friend and y'all been friends for a while and y'all just so happen to start doing it. And then, because one thing about it is, it just depends on the type of person. Some people are into the hookup culture. They're used to hooking up with people, hitting it, calling it quits. Some people are just used to like hooking up and like just being by themselves, just because, like, even though, hey, I'm by myself, I have needs, like I want to hook up. And then you also have those people that are like, and this goes for both men and female. You also have like those people um that are like, okay, I'm doing this with you because I want to make love out of the situation. I want to make love. I want to do this out of love because you're my friend and I love you. That type of thing. It just depends on the person. Some women take emotional, like if they do it with you for so long and it's nothing that's going to come out of this, they take emotional hurt from that. Then there's some dudes that it will be like, um, that will be like, I want to release my stress and I want to do it now. And then you got some people that are over here that I mean some girls that are like, I just really don't care. I'm just doing this so I could get paid. And then you got some people that do it just like, if you want to, I'm just chilling. I don't care. It just depends on the type of person you are. And especially I just feel like if you know the person and you know that they grow attachment off that type of thing, but you just do it out of just doing it just for fun, I feel like you kind of need to tell that person up front and be like, hey, when we do this, I don't want nothing to come out of this. I don't want you to say that I don't want no type of love coming out of this. I'm just doing this just to have fun and call it a day, or just to get my mind off today and just escape my mind off of work. I feel like it just needs to be talked about and discussed, because if it doesn't, a lot of hurt can come from that other person, or and simply because some people misunderstand when it comes to that type of thing. There's misunderstandings, like, oh, I thought we was just doing this just to do it. You want to do this because you want to put a ring on my finger. I didn't know this was going to come to that. It's just, you should really confront it, and that's just for me. Like, I confront it. Like when we do this, I hope you know I don't want no children, but I want love type thing. I just that's why um that's why I'm so down with like communicating, and you get where I'm going with this, right? Like I'll get where I'm going with this. I just I'm type of person I want to communicate, and I'm a really good communicator. So it's just yeah.
That makes. I mean, maybe that's
I
what
gotta.
I don't have to overly communicate, but I can't. I don't want to read nobody's mind or try to figure you out because you don't know how
Right.
I am. I'm a straight shooter. It's straight up. Like I don't really hold anything from you, so there can't really be confusion on my end. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's why I said like if you ain't communicating what you got going or you confused about what I got going, then that's kind of not my well, it's not even kind of that's not my responsibility. I can't be held liable for which you don't know.
That's true. I feel like, but I feel like the conversation does need to be had before sex. I think that if guys will be, because I'm a woman, I feel like if guys are um, upfront that they just trying to have sex and that's all they really want, they don't want anything else out of it, then I think that you put the ball in that woman's court to like decide, hey, is this what I want, or should I just keep looking? Because I think that the confusion comes from not having that conversation. And when a woman likes a guy, they're gonna naturally try. They're gonna naturally. You're gonna see them talk about relationships. They're gonna get frustrated with you because they're like, "Why are we not in a relationship? I'm having sex with you. You at my house. I'm at your house. Like, what are we doing?" And I think that those conversations need to be had beforehand, especially before having sex with someone. Um, because of the fact that a lot of people get confused, and I think that you did a good job. I think both of y'all did a good job with explaining that because, you know, what it boils down to is that everybody needs to have that conversation about relationships before they are actually having sex. Because I'm telling you, like Jared, you would probably go a lot further if you had that conversation. Like, hey, I'm just looking to have sex. So that's what you're looking for. Okay, I don't want a relationship out of this. And that female is gonna be like, okay, me either. And then y'all have that understanding, so she's not gonna get frustrated down the line. Like, why are we not in a relationship? And there are some women who lie to kick it, but that's on them. You're not responsible for them on that point. But if you have that conversation up front that that's all you're looking for, I'm telling you, like that frustration with that woman, it's gonna go away because she's gonna automatically know that, you're not trying to be in a relationship. You just want sex. And if she chooses to deal with you, then she already know the expectation. There's no need to get frustrated.
I will say this too. Sometimes when you do have that conversation, that
Hmm.
and I feel like this is the reason why you also have to have no filter and be straight up blunt with it, straight up real. Once you have that, I feel like when some people do have that conversation, let's say the dude was to tell you up front, look, okay, I just had a stressful day at work. I ain't looking for none out of this. I just want to get my mind off of work. If you just so happen to take it on another level than it needed to be, then I feel like that is on you at that point, because who told you? I told you what I wanted, but who told you to take it to 10 steps further than what it was supposed to go? You feel what I'm saying? Like I sometimes when people do communicate, some people do be blunt and tell you what they want, and then other people just take it to the extreme on another level where it wasn't supposed to go, and then they just get all hurt. It's like, but wait a minute, I thought you wanted to do this because of emotional attachment. No, I wanted to do this just to get my mind off of work. I don't know what you talking about. You get what I'm saying? Like, when somebody tells you what they want up front, please believe it the first time and take it for what it is, and don't take it for like, oh, I'm gonna take it 3 steps higher than what he wants it to be. Because I'm sure after we do it, he's gonna change his mind. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do
Some
that.
of them people do feel like that though. Some people do feel
Right.
like they're gonna change their mind. And I remember one time I had this dude tell me he probably crazy, and I should have listened. And I thought he was joking. And then like as I started to get to know him, I was like, he really? Well, he said I'm probably bipolar, but And I was like, what? And then he's like, I'm just kidding. And then like as I started to like really get to know him, I was like, oh, he did say he was bipolar, or he thought he was bipolar, and he
Hmm.
really is acting like that. I mean, and you know, black folks always say everything. Anytime somebody's a little crazy, they're a little bipolar. But he probably had some type of mental disorder that was going on with him that just was like, okay, you know what? I should listen. You told me this within the first month of me knowing you, and here I am, you know, thinking like you just playing. But then I had to think like that. Who plays like that? Like, who really plays like they crazy? I don't think anybody do. So, like, you do have to take, you know, you gotta be honest with yourself when people tell you stuff. Even if they say it in a joke, like there's some truth behind it, because people just not gonna just say any and everything to you. So
Mm.
I don't know. That was a good conversation, you guys. So I'm tired. So let's continue tomorrow. Y'all come up with some good questions. As Kiesha, you had great questions today. Z, thank you for being on here, and Jared as
You're
well.
welcome.
I'll see y'all tomorrow.